All right, welcome to You're My Best Friend, a podcast about life, friendship, and tacos. My name is Ruben Jay.
And I'm Moxy Ann.
Why do you that? I didn't even pause this time.
I know. I just wanted to feel like William Shatner.
Okay, whatever. This week's episode of You're My Best Friend, this is going to be, the interview portion of it's going to be good. The intro is going to be a little bit different. I want to take a second here.
What are we doing? Are you doing something?
I want to address last week, because this is about a week and a day removed from losing Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
In such a terrible, tragic way. And those, his daughter and 9 other people. So I do want to start on somewhat of a somber note, because I did have some people who asked why we didn't mention Kobe in last week's episode. And quite frankly, the simple portion of it is, number one, the ability to try to get Moxy and I together that quickly, because he passed away Sunday morning, and this show goes out Monday morning, early Monday morning. So there just was,
and we already had last week's episode recorded way before it went out.
Yeah, and it was done. I mean, so it's just one of those things where, like, between scheduling and just not even knowing what to say at the time, because there was so much going on. So I did want to take a second to kind of just address the whole situation and just say, how heartbroken, we are here at the podcast and at MultiMediaMouth.com. Just, it was the most searched thing on the website all week. And so many different things came out, and so many different people came out and spoke about who Kobe Bryant was, and the type of person he was, the type of father he was, and the type of friend he was. And honestly, while I don't have any stories of Kobe Bryant, obviously, because he and I never hung out, he never returned my phone calls, it's still a massive loss for LA and for the world, because he is such a big part of pop culture and philanthropy and everything.
I am not a sports person, and
no, she's not.
I make no secret of that. But even my dad, I grew up with my dad watching Lakers games in the front room, and when Kobe was no longer a regular in the Lakers games, he stopped watching them. And I remember hearing about Kobe all the time growing up. And when it happened, because it happened last Sunday, my boyfriend got in the car and he opened up his phone and he said, Kobe Bryant just died? And I was like, that's not real. That's not a real thing that happens. And then my second thought was, oh my gosh, he had a daughter.
He had a couple.
Yeah. But I think that it's especially, I know that it's especially hard hitting for somebody who lives in Los Angeles. We went to Los Angeles 2 days after it happened, and all the buildings are lit up purple and gold, and it made me cry a little bit.
There's a video up on MultiMediaMouth.com with Shaq.
I saw that one.
Talking about his relationship with Kobe. And if you watch that video and you don't start crying, you have no heart. I'm not a basketball fan, even to the smallest degree. And actually, I usually will use Kobe Bryant's name in a joke where, the whole point is, Kobe Bryant, was playing football the other day and he scored so many goals while, hitting a home run. Like, that's my normal joke whenever sports comes up. But much like many of us who grew up here in Los Angeles, many of us who grew up being somewhat connected through, certain people in your life, my mother loved Kobe Bryant. She didn't watch a lick of basketball unless it was Kobe playing. Yeah. If he was hurt, she wouldn't watch, and she used to say a couple things. She used to say, number one, she would say, if I wasn't married, I'd have a piece of that. She would also say that if she was a younger woman, that Kobe would be hers. And so, my memories of growing up is seeing my mom and my older brothers just kind of watching Kobe and just, being mesmerized by the game he played.
He's our guy. I mean, we're Californians. He's our guy.
He's the guy. You know, like regardless of, you know, yeah, now you have Steph Curry, now you have LeBron James, and you have great players in California. But at the end of the day, it's still, this is Kobe's town, you know. And the Alicia Keys on Sunday night said something along the lines of like, it's so tragic that we are in the house that Kobe Bryant built and he's no longer with us. And so it sucks that, first of all, it sucks for anybody to go out in the way he did. You know, It sucks that the reason why he had a helicopter was because he wanted to get to Orange County in LA in like 20 minutes so that he could spend the most amount of time with his kids and his wife. It sucks that 7 other people on that plane, on that helicopter also died.
Can I actually say something? Because I know, I don't know personally, but I know one of the other people that was on that helicopter. My guitarist Sydney and I played a show this past summer with a band, and the lead singer's wife actually also passed away on that helicopter. And there was a coach, right? It was a
coach from OCC.
Coach from OCC, which is a community college that I attended for a year and a half. And I, just being from Orange County, and it's really weird. I'm not a sports person. I don't know. Our heart goes out to everybody who was affected by this. And it feels like in some way, no matter how big or small, everyone in Southern California was affected by this.
You know, I think everyone in the world, honestly, like, I don't know anybody from any market. You know, I don't know anybody who, I don't know anybody who's not talking about this, even a week removed.
It can't be real. This isn't a thing that happens.
I wrote the other day that I keep waiting for them to be like, oh no, we found him.
Yeah.
He locked himself in his, you know, basement and his phone died and he hasn't been able to communicate with anybody and we found him.
There are no basements in California.
Well, whatever. You know, so I want to just read the names of the people who passed away, because there are, you know, yes, Kobe Bryant is the biggest name. Gianna Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter.
And the most tragic thing about that is that she is the daughter that was wanting to go into the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, she was a great basketball player. I mean, it's just sad.
It's a loss.
I apologize if I mispronounce the names here. 13-year-old Peyton Chester. I can't. I mean, I'm so wrecked right now. It's not even. Alyssa Altabelli, 14. Carrie Altabelli, 46. Christina Mauser, 38.
That's.
John Altabelli, sorry, is 56. Sarah Chester, 45. And the pilot, whose name I will not be able to pronounce correctly if I'm being completely honest, Ara Zobayan. 50 years old. I mean, all these people, I mean, those kids, you know, but everyone here is still very young. So with that being said, any proceeds that this show makes today will be donated to the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation. And hopefully the 7 cents that we donate from this show will make a difference in somebody's world. And you know, the one message that I want to leave with you guys before we jump into Lacey Mercedes, who's on this week's episode, and I feel kind of bad transitioning into it in the beginning of the show, but I wanted to get it out of the way, is, you know, life is short. Don't hesitate calling somebody. Don't hesitate to mend those bridges. Don't forget to say I love you to the people that you love, because you never know when your final moment's going to be.
And Kobe was at Mass that morning. He was Catholic. I would add to that all of those things and believe strongly and never.
Let me put it this way. I don't like to preach at people, but if you're not right with your God in your life, get right with your God, because whether or not you feel like it's real, whether or not you feel like that's important to you, it's important, and a guy who is worth $300 million, his priority Sunday morning was to go to church and spend his time with his God. But I mean, just as important as being right with your God, being right with the Lord is if there's somebody in your life that you have fallen out with, or you haven't told them how much you appreciate them, do it now. Pause this podcast and call them.
Yeah. Because we always think we have more time.
And it's rough when you realize that you don't. I mean, how many people have come out and said, "Oh yeah, he texted me last week. I never got back to him." Yeah. Kobe Bryant actually texted Shaq like an hour before the helicopter went down. Or called him or whatever. And it just, anyway, we're gonna take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna have an incredible interview.
It is. It's really good.
So pardon us as we just depress everybody and then jump into happy topics.
Woo!
That's the beauty of this show. So we'll be back with Lacey Mercedes, whose song...
I'm so sorry.
whose song California with Robbie Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Dean comes out this Friday. We'll be back after this quick commercial break.